Uh, Charles, man, I got a new idea for us.
You got a new idea?
Well, it's yeah,
That's
it's like
dangerous.
no. I got to do a talk in about an hour and a half to some Democrats at Microsoft, and I'm going to run this idea past them. And I thought, perfect. Let's get you and me on a call, and you're going to be the test, the user test of this. Okay.
Okay, this is good. I hope the Microsoft people don't watch this back later and realize that you just came up with this an hour before you talked to them.
I'll say I've been thinking about it for a couple days. Okay.
Oh, good. That's better.
Yeah. So you know how there's all of these election forecasts or election predictions by Nate Silver, who made him famous, and
Okay.
others. There's multiple ones out there. And
Yeah.
Nate Silver is currently predicting Donald Trump as like a 64% likelihood to win. And it's just making progressives jump off a
What?
cliff. Okay. Yes.
64%
Yeah. It,
based on
he
polling?
No, he has a bunch of things that he's built into this model. And so he thinks Harris should be winning by more than she's winning by right now. And so because of that, he's saying that Trump's gonna win. And it's out of line with all of these other prediction models. But
Is
Trump,
Nate Silver trying to make himself more disliked?
well, okay, there's a lot going on here because Nate Silver also works for uh Thiel, that dude who, from the Bay Area, Peter Thiel.
Nate Silver works for Peter Thiel?
Yeah, because his company, he is now owned by Thiel or something like this. Okay, so Silver works for Thiel, and he also is employed by Polymarket, which is an international betting service on politics. And so there's a very high likelihood
What?
that Silver is making some money off of his bets because he's a well-known gambler. I mean, this is something that's part of his identity as he goes to
Yeah, it
work.
started with sports.
Right. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of people who don't want to buy his argument that Trump's going to win are saying that he's just running up the numbers here to make it
There you
look like
go.
Trump's going to
Right.
win.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And that he's secretly on the side betting
Thinks
Harris.
that Kamala's gonna win.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. 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 Jeez, man. Okay. All
But
right. So
but but you know what Trump does? Trump has seized Silver's numbers and is putting them out and saying like Nate Silver, I don't know this guy, but he's saying he's good. He's got a good record. I'm gonna win. And this is what Trump
when did you
does. He
start doing a Trump impression?
just
When did
man,
you?
like you were in Georgia or something. I don't
I
know. It's
this is
just
what happens when we don't podcast enough. You just go off the rails. Okay, so now you're talking about political betting and you're talking about Nate Silver, and you're talking about Trump, and now you got me more worried about your idea. Go ahead.
okay, good. So I in the Microsoft thing, my last that I'm just talking, I'm going to do the last slide I'm going to do is going to be, and I'm calling it the CP3D model. Okay, it's our forecast, and I'm gonna list a set of metrics.
Is the 3D what is the 3D?
Douglas Domke Daily. Okay, I'm branding it under our brand. That's why I just want to make sure
Okay.
I
All
want to
right.
give you 5 minutes to process it.
Yeah, I
Okay,
was
to
gonna say
make
this
sure.
is so good. You're gonna put my name on it. You're just telling me right here. Okay. Okay.
Right. But I just want to run the metrics past you that I'm going to
Mm,
use, and I want you to give me the real time, like gut feeling of like who's winning, Trump or
okay.
Harris on the metrics. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So these are the metrics. I'll say fundraising dollars. First
Wait, are
metric.
these your keys? Are these your keys?
So sure. Yes.
Your
CP3D keys.
what's his
Okay.
name? Your Alan what's his
Lichtman.
name?
Lichtman.
Lichtman. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
known as Nostradamus. Okay, all right, that's
Terrible. No.
exactly
Yeah.
horrible.
Too far. Go ahead.
Hey, first key, the first CP3D key, all right, is fundraising dollars. How much is
Yes.
somebody raising? Who's winning on that?
Harris, easy.
Tell me more.
By two times, right? By
Right.
double at least.
She
Yeah.
raised 360 million in the month of August and came into September with 404 million. Trump came in with raised 130 million in August, one third roughly, and came in with about 150 million to
Yes.
September.
Yeah, this is only if you don't count Trump's in-kind donations from foreign governments. Okay, that is pretty high. All that Russian troll farm labor, that's worth something.
Okay, so if we're sticking with domestic dollars, Harris is winning, right?
Yeah.
But if we're talking about in kind from
We're talking about illegal in-kind dollars from, from foreign governments, then Trump is he's up there. All right.
okay, so podcast audience, podcast nation, CP nation, key number one.
CP Nation. Okay. Whoa. Okay.
Uh,
We're leaping up here. It's good.
yeah, sure, sure. Like folks, you don't know that Charles and I just had a phone call before this where we were getting fired up about some things. So like you're getting us like we're on speed right now or something. We're like so fired up, all right?
I don't do drugs, David. Okay, sorry. This is being recorded. I want to make sure this is okay.
I
All
know.
right.
I don't do one either. Nope.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so
You don't even drink coffee, which is super weird.
no,
Anyways, go ahead.
but I'm drinking this Costco um uh what are they like sugar kind of like they're
Oh,
vitamin
no.
B things. Okay.
Okay. Okay. It's a protein shake. It's a
Something
supplemental shake. Okay. All
Lisa
right.
says it's good for me.
Okay, then
Okay.
we're good. We're good. Okay, good.
The
Okay,
second
number
key,
two.
the second key is favorability ratings of the candidate, Trump
Mm,
or Harris. And the favorability ratings are when in a poll, the pollster will ask people, do you have a favorable or unfavorable view of this person? Okay.
yeah.
So Trump, uh, Harris, Wallace, Walls,
Yeah.
Walls, different era. Walls and Vance get asked this all the time in
Yeah.
polls. Okay, so on the favorability ratings, who's winning right now?
Harris by like 10%, right?
That is correct. You are
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But amazingly, Trump is still right there with like whether or not people would vote for him. So Trump is at like 30% favorability, but he's at like 9% or 51%, depending on the poll, for if they'd vote for him. There's a massive chunk of America that hates Trump and still voting for him.
Oh yeah. So
Craziness.
when you look at here, let's see favorability. Here we go. When you look at favorability of Harris, you see a line that is like you almost never ever see. So let's I'm opening it up right
Oh,
now.
and also these are the whatever this rating is taken after or before her current road trip through Pennsylvania, which, oh my gosh, the video that's coming out of that, out of her in Pennsylvania, talking to regular people,
Sure.
the hugs and the tears and everything, the favorability is just going to go through the roof, man. That kind of
Okay.
like human connection stuff. Trump doesn't do any of that.
No, no, no. Look, this is Harris's favorability ratings.
Nice.
This is across 2+ years. And look at the way
Hey, this is 538.com. Nate Silver doesn't run this anymore, right?
I know. Right. No, he doesn't run this. This is
That's
now
right.
Elliot
Okay. All right.
Norris. And this is just ratings there. There's nothing done here to like manipulate the data. Harris's favorabilities were negative all the way from basically late 2021 until recently. She just crossed into positive favorability overall.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's all since the last month and a half. All right. It's an amazing, amazing kind of timeline. So where's she at right now? She's okay. She
46% favorable.
right.
Yeah.
So she's right at that
Even.
place. Okay. Trump is a -10, -15 around
Yeah.
there. Okay.
Yeah.
Vance is a -10, -15. Walls is a +5 to 10.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Walls is.
Of course he is.
Yeah, my brother from Minnesota is a +5 or 10. Okay.
That's right. That's right. Keep
Okay.
saying it, man. People are going to be like, isn't that David's brother?
No, people who listen, CP Nation, who listens to this podcast, has said that they bought it. They are convinced that Walls and I are related. Okay.
Let's keep saying it. We got to just have pictures. We need t-shirts of you guys next to each other. All right.
Okay.
That's key number 2.
Key number 3, congressional generic ballot. This is when the pollsters ask, who do
Oh,
you think should lead after this election? Who do you want to lead after this election? Congress. Who do you want to lead Congress? So on this, it wouldn't be Harris or Trump. It'd be Democrats or Republicans. So who do you think's winning on this?
I don't know this one, man. This one's a little tougher. This is by party?
It's by party. Yes. But this ballot measure is a very strong predictor of eventual votes. It's one of the most steady historical predictors.
I would say if it's party, then it's Democrats have got the edge right now.
Okay,
If
so
it's a
you're gonna,
nationwide, this is nationwide.
it's nationwide.
Oh yeah, Democrats for sure. Democrats for sure have the edge right now.
Okay, here's the data. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
If you go back to the beginning of 2023, it's been bouncing back and forth, and the largest lead that anybody's ever had has been like 1.5%. The Dems currently have a 2.5% lead, and you see that the dates where you look at this over time. It's
Yeah.
all since Harris. It's all
It's
since
all
Harris.
it's all her. Yeah, this is one of those things where what do they say? This is where like Washington State comes into play, where they talk about the how well, because we've got a jungle primary in Washington State,
Man,
how well the
that's the fourth
right?
key. Okay, that's the
Oh,
fourth
that's the
key.
fourth. I'm jumping the gun. All
Yes.
right. Okay. All right.
So three keys point to Trump so far. To Harris so far. I'm actually going to move the fourth key to the fifth key, the Washington primary. Fourth key,
Okay.
New York Times / Siena poll. All right, one
One
poll
poll,
yesterday. One poll. Okay,
you
who's?
dude, you're gonna put one of our keys on one poll.
Yeah, because this is the way that liberals think. They this is the way they think. They're one poll, and they're like, this is it. Like, I don't care about 50 polls. They care about one poll. One poll.
I don't know if I'm co-signing this one, but go ahead. What are we saying?
Trump was leading by one. Okay. So it's the first poll that's had Trump leading by one.
Fucking New York Times.
And exactly.
That's it. Everyone immediately, as soon as they saw that, they're like, what do I read this? What do I read this? Unsubscribe. And then they resubscribe later when they hear about a story.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's actually not a key, but polls in general,
Yeah.
who do you think's winning?
Uh Harris is up right now, but barely. What do we
Okay.
got? This is all the polls?
Yeah, this is all of them.
Still within the margin of error. I think that, let me just say before you show this,
Okay.
I still say that polls are going to show her continuing to widen. The gap is gonna it'll be more and more clear that she's in the lead. The polls are going to start to reflect it.
Okay. Just trying to
And
pull
I
up.
don't think that polls are an accurate read on how the election's going to go.
Exactly. They are not.
I think that the Trump's voters, the low information voters, the dude verse, the manoverse, or whatever, those are people who do not answer these polls. And I think that it's going to be tighter in some of these states than what the polls are showing.
The the Manaverse. Nice. Okay.
Yeah, man, I didn't name it. It's a
Okay.
stupid name.
Okay. Here's the polls. Here's
Okay.
the average of all the polls. Okay.
Okay.
Harris has got a pretty steady lead. And it's grown slightly. Let's see what's the timeline across the bottom here. So from
Yeah.
late
Oh, wow. This
July,
is to today. Great.
right,
To yesterday.
to Harris, 2.8%. So if you're looking at polls, not just one New York Times Siena poll, all right, but if you're
Yeah.
looking at polls, Harris as a key has got the lead. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah. The polling aggregate. Yeah. And Tuesday, the debate after that, because she's gonna kick his ass.
I know. Let's end with that today.
Okay.
So key 5 is the Washington primary. Okay. So the Washington primary, which occurs in
Washington
August.
State primary for you East Coasters. You can't just say Washington.
It's true. Yeah. When I
We're
was
the
at
only ones who think we're just Washington.
I know.
Anywhere I travel, I say Washington, they all think DC.
I
I have
know.
to say Washington State,
I
or
know.
I got to say Seattle, and they're like, okay, got
I know. It's a chip on my shoulder too, man. From the
it.
when I was at the University of Washington, I'd get these requests for like BBC interviews or something. They'd be like, "Yeah, I want to talk to you about American politics," and I'm like,
Yeah,
"Cool, yeah, I can do that."
that's good.
And then they'd email me back, and they're like, "Oh, we thought
Sorry.
you were in DC." Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
sorry. We don't want you. Okay,
So the
talk
Washington
about it.
State
Jungle
primary,
primary.
uh, in every even year, so high election years, the if you add up all of the votes in the congressional districts from Washington 1 through 10. We have 10 congressional U.S. House districts. And you add them all up and you take all the Republican votes and all the Democratic votes, it becomes actually with a slight mathematical formalization, a minus 12. It's called the rule of 12. If you take all those votes and look at the gap between them, and then you minus 12%, you get a very strong predictor of what the national political environment is going to be.
Yeah,
This
it goes back a few elections,
goes
doesn't it?
back about 20 plus years.
20
Okay.
years. Yep.
So you take
Love that.
all of the what?
Modern political times. Yeah.
Yeah, it's with the top two primary, as you were saying. In Washington State, we have this primary system where Dems and Republicans run against each other in the primary. And that's a big part of why this is predictive. It's like a general election ballot, okay, where the Dems and Republicans are running against each other. It's also pretty late in the calendar year in election, so it's in August. And the Washington State white population is pretty close in the aggregate to the national white population.
Right.
So for a couple
Yeah,
of
and
reasons,
we don't tend to think
predictive.
of that over here in Seattle, but it's the rural Eastern Washington, the suburbs, the urban areas. Yep.
So what you do is you take all the aggregated Democratic votes for every Democratic candidate running the primaries, and then you subtract the Republican aggregated votes for all Republicans, and you have a percentage gap between them, and it's always pro-Democratic because the state overall is Democratic. But the size of that gap, minus 12, becomes the predictor for the national level. And I know this sounds like bullshit, like we're just totally making this
but
up.
It works.
Like, it works. Okay.
The math works out. Yeah.
And so this year, do you know what the gap was in the Washington State for the primaries?
It was like, oh man, it was huge. I forget what it was. What was it, like 20% or something?
No, not quite. It was 16%.
16. Okay.
It was 20% in 2018. Really big gap,
Interesting.
which became a big blue wave, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was actually 10% in 2022, which became
really?
a Republican year. Okay.
Yeah.
If you minus 12 in each one, in 2022, minus 12 from 10%, it was Republican plus 2. And that's what the national electorate was, Republican plus 2. Okay.
Interesting.
This year, it's Democrats plus 16, minus 12 means Democrats plus 4. In 2020, it was Democrats plus 2.7%. So this would be slightly better than 2020 if it is the case. All right.
Okay.
Certainly big enough for the Dems to win the House.
Yeah.
All right. And because the Electoral College the key states in the Electoral College now actually track closer to the national numbers than they used to, because the campaigns are so fierce in those states that they actually track pretty close to national numbers. This bodes well for us, right? It bodes well.
Yeah. That's a good key. That's good. I like that a lot. Okay.
So
Washington State.
Yeah, the rule of 12 key for Washington State. So here's all these keys. So this leads us to the last key, which is.
Are any of these Allans, by the way? I just want to make sure we're not copying his keys.
No, none of these are Allan Lichtman's keys. We are copying the name. Yes, the keys. Okay.
Oh no, it's fine. That's fine. I don't think he made that up anyways. All right, go ahead.
Sure. It's like we're copying the golden arches, but not the hamburger. Okay. That's what we're doing here. Okay.
No, I think you can copy the hamburger and not the golden arches.
Oh,
that's how you go to
that's
court.
how it's worked, right? That's how it's worked.
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
So the last key is, I'm going to suggest is, well, there's actually several more, but this is plenty for today. The last key I'm going to suggest is the debate. Okay. Who shows up and essentially establishes themselves as the premier presidential candidate. So let's end this podcast episode by talking about your sentiments. Let's go back to what you just said a few minutes ago, going into the debate.
I said she's gonna kick his ass. That's what I said.
That's what you said. Yes. Yes.
I think she's gonna, and I don't care about the microphone. I don't care about all the other variables, whatever. She has been doing this her entire life. So she can do it with any kind of rules, she can, and people forget when you're in a courtroom, you can't just start talking. when someone else is talking. So she knows how to bring in a cogent argument or debate a point and wait until someone says it's her turn. So I'm not worried about that at all. She also knows how to do a back and forth, and there will be a back and forth. There's going to be a point where both their mics are on at some point,
Yes.
and they will be able to hear them both. Yeah, she's gonna, he's the thing about this is that Trump is already frazzled. She has placed him on the defense already. He's constantly talking about he's not weird. Right? He's like, I'm not this, I'm not that. We're winning if because they're responding to us. We are the ones that are saying, here are the rules to today's debate argument, the argument of today. And we're saying you defend the weirdness thing, defend the couch, defend the Hannibal Lecter. And so he does that. He speaks to the accusations
I
that we're
know.
making on our side. So and then she's a woman, she's a Black woman, she's a woman of color. That being on stage with her, because they've never met. That's the thing, right? They've never met in
Oh,
person.
uh-huh.
So them being physically on stage together, just that like the ire that's going to build up inside of them is going to throw them all the way off.
Do you think that she's going to say to him, Donald, or however she refers to him, and I think it'll be Donald, Donald, you have said a lot of things about me. Say it to my face.
I'd say it to my face.
I thought you were
She
tough,
may,
Donald. I thought you
yeah,
were tough,
she
strong.
may, you know what? If she really wants to get him, I don't know if it's this debate, but if she's like, this is my only debate I'm gonna have with him, because after this, he's not gonna want to debate with me anymore. She may really try to rib him and get him to go up through, get thrown off his game, or she's gonna go high, because that's what she's been doing when
Yep, yep, yep,
when
yep, yep.
people ask about him. She's like, no, we need to be better, we need to be less divisive, et cetera, et cetera. So she might try to toe that line. If she's smart, she'll do that. I think she's smart, and she'll decide to go that route.
I had lunch yesterday with some CP supporters, and we were talking about the debate, and I concur with you. I I think that she is made for this moment. All
Yeah.
right. I think that the prosecutor, the unflappable, you can say
Mm-hmm.
anything, you can throw anything you want at me. She's so prepared always. All
Yep.
right. That she's going to be able to I think just be ready for whatever he's got, and then she understands the importance of dominance too. This is one of the things that she has in her professional career shown, is that she knows that she needs to show up and be the one in charge. The
Yep.
one in charge, not just intellectually. Hillary Clinton was intellectually in charge of everybody.
Mm.
Harris looks it too. All right. She
Yeah.
just
She's going
she
to control the
points.
conversation.
Right.
She's going to yeah. Yeah, she will. And she also knows that this is probably going to be the time when the most people in America see her
Absolutely. This
versus
is
him.
it. Yep.
This is the Super Bowl. It's probably going to get more views, actually. This is probably like a low key data point on tomorrow is that this is going to get more views than anything else on TV.
Yeah, it'll be off the charts in terms of viewership. So
Internationally, I think that the world is gonna watch this.
yeah, 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 yeah. The Russians are going to switch their money to the
They might, man. They might. I think that we're gonna see some people stand down and be like, hey, listen, we're gonna try to the next coup. We'll plan for the next coup.
So 2 days ago on the podcast, I played a clip. Um, I think you were at a picnic or something. I'm not sure where you were, but I did it with Puya, and I played a clip from Kamala
Oh,
Harris in Pittsburgh.
I saw you. This poor guy was trying to be on vacation, and you had him. He was fresh out of the shower. His hair is all wet.
He was going to a wedding, not his, but he was going to a wedding. And so, anyways, the clip I played was Harris in Pittsburgh at a spice store, and a reporter asking her, "Are you ready to face Trump?" And she says, "Yes, I am."
Yeah.
That's all she says. "Yes, I am." And I played it like 20 times. All right. So because I just liked it. It was so succinct. Like, "Yes, I am."
Yeah.
Well, yesterday she was out for a walk. She and her husband, Doug Emhoff, were out for a walk. And they look, there is nothing unstrategic about any of these things. Okay, like they
Out
like
for a private walk, right? Just like a
exactly a private
little,
walk along the riverfront in
yeah,
Pittsburgh with a very clear set of like views of her so she can be seen, right? And
yeah,
the Secret Service has to be out there like clearing people off, you
yeah,
know? You
right,
can't
right,
just
right.
let like other people walking along. You're like, cool, hey, hi. You can't do that, okay?
That's right.
So here, I want to play this clip. It's about a 20-second clip of her walking because there's a reporter standing far away from her who yells to her, okay? And she answers again.
Can I just say, Doug has been doing interviews, and what he was talking about was how, what was he was at a cycling class when he found out, and then he said it's been go 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 since then. Like she was on one side of the country and he was on another side. This poor guy, he was probably looking forward to a walk with his wife. All right. I just want to, I feel for him, I feel for he may be something in him, thought maybe we'll get some time, we'll be able to say, hey, how are you doing? All that, but no.
I don't know. Doug looks pretty happy in this. You're gonna
I mean, Doug always looks happy though. I think when Doug's mad, he's got a little smile on his face.
sure. So here we go.
Oh, he's got this sweatshirt on too. Smart. Yeah. She's got the all black, dude. I'm telling you, killing it. Yeah, she's rocking the all black. That's boss right there.
It's coming up here.
Where are they walking, by a nuclear facility?
Trump wants to jail election workers, Madam Vice President. Do you have a reaction?
Madam Vice President, how will you handle it on the debate stage if Trump decides to launch a personal attack?
Are you ready, Madam Vice President?
Ready.
Right there, baby.
I'm ready.
Are you ready, Madam Vice President?
Ready.
right before the edge of the building.
Right.
It's
ready. It's her drop the mic moment right there, right?
Yep.
To launch a personal attack.
Hi guys. She's like, yeah.
Are you ready, Madam Vice President?
Ready.
Yes.
Stone cold. And she is.
She is.
Ready, dude. She's super ready.
I just think look, she's, in my view, she's a political assassin. That's who Kamala Harris is. See, Harris isn't just interested in being smarter. She's interested in winning. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a difference in politics. There is a difference. Winning means you're not only smarter, you have to beat the other person. You have to make it visually and theatrically apparent to people that you are the better candidate. That's who she is. She didn't just show Brett Kavanaugh that she was smarter than Brett Kavanaugh. She embarrassed Brett Kavanaugh during the nomination hearings, right? And so I think she is ready to do this to Trump, and it's going to be a glorious moment. And it's what has to occur. You don't become the first female president or the first president of color female without going through the crucible. You just
yeah, and it's more than anybody else. And the thing I love for her also is that I think the last time we saw her at this level for president, she was trying to shape herself into what other people wanted her to be. The thing I love for her is that this is her.
Yeah,
the thing she stands for, the moderate positions, the coming together across race and difference, like that's her life. That's how she's lived her life, fighting for people, fighting this guy who's a criminal. I mean, it is the country has moved to meet her. She's ready, and she's been ready, but the country has risen to a point where it's ready for Kamala to just be herself. And that's when you can get up and compete and just be you, and you don't have to like think about the movements and the things and all the different pieces. That's why she's gonna kill it, because she's just gonna be herself.
Yeah. Okay. Gotta go because we have another meeting. On Wednesday, I need to get on your calendar for like a 6:30 a.m. podcast, okay? Because I'm flying to Atlanta that morning, and people are going to want to get our podcast right away after the debate. Okay.
Are you trying to have me on record to agree to a 6:30 in the morning podcast with you?
Or maybe we do it Tuesday night after after.
You know what? Because I'm actually gonna be on a flight at 8 o'clock flight as well.
Really?
That morning. Yeah. That's
Wednesday?
right. That's right.
You travel? I didn't know you travel. You travel sometimes?
I got to go to DC, man. I'm going to
Okay.
DC.
Great. So we're good
Let's do
for
it.
6:30 podcast from the airport. You at your gate, me at my gate.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay. All right. All right.
Okay.
CP3D.
How many more keys do you have? Are you going to give to the Microsoft people?
I'm probably just going to go with these.
Okay.
I also had other ones, voter registration numbers, which we've talked about already in this, and volunteer numbers, which we've talked about as well, right? And so those are the other keys that I have currently.
Okay, I just want to make sure that any of the keys you're going to present as our keys are keys that I'm aware of. Okay, good.
Totally. Look, how many we both make a living presenting ideas as ours, even though the other person has never heard of them. Okay. Like, and then the other person just has to show up and like, oh yeah, yep.
Totally co-sign all of that. I'm with it. Yeah, that's exactly right. That's how we built the organization. Trust.
Exactly.
We built it on trust. And in the fall we built it on goatees. I just want to say that in the comments on YouTube in that episode, there were more people who wanted goatees than not. So I just yours looks like it's not coming out yet, and there's time.
Okay. All right. See ya. Bye.
All right. Bye.